culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts on the latest Pop Culture Cosmos. It's the PC Multiverse right there for you on the Pop Culture Cosmos channels, where we talk about A, our Super Bowl predictions, and B, also as well, who were the big winners and losers at the NBA trade deadline. So a sports-related show on, of course, the Pop Culture Cosmos. So get it today wherever you get your podcasts. I also host on the Lakers Latest channel. The Lakers Latest channel, part of the Fan Arc Network. If you see me on there, tell me hi. Say hi, like, and subscribe. Go ahead and make sure you got your morning fix for your Lakers Latest. Looking forward to hearing your guys' thoughts on that as far as when I go over to the Lakers Latest and sharing my thoughts on Sunday morning. So go ahead and catch out what I'm doing today at Lakers Latest right there, part of the Fan Arc Network right there for you. Legends here. He's covers the sports world like no one else right there for you at I Got Next Sports Media. I've also got my handy dandy pillow with Kobe and Gigi right here. Got my awesome canvas art right behind me of Luka, who was out today, but not too serious, Luka, which is good. Right there for you. And Kobe as well. The canvas art is rocking from a good friend at Trip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. And I cannot forget the guy that always is here at the beginning of the show. So go ahead and make sure you talk about great channels. I got a great channel in mind for you with Daniel Barry Sports Highlights, DBSH. Yo, go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe at DBSH, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. He does some great streams, has some great highlights waiting for you at Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. And last but certainly not least, if you guys missed it, we had a really, really good discussion earlier today. Legend was stopped by. It's for the Lakerholics. It was a Lakerholic spotlight on the Lakers after the trade deadline. I'm going to drop it for people on audio for their Monday morning drive, but for the video, you can catch it right now, right here for you on our YouTube channel, indeed. And make sure you like and subscribe here. And if you want to come a member, you get a lot of my stuff. First and foremost, it's just $2.99 a month. The best deal on YouTube right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Well, the Lakers came in tonight. Sorry, Legend, you might have to cover your ears for a little while because it does concern one of your favorite teams in the Warriors. It came tonight into a primetime matchup, looking to see if they can gain some ground on third place in the Western Conference with a primetime matchup against the Golden State Warriors. No Steph Curry, no Jimmy Butler, no Luka, who is, I guess we were told the latest update today, according to JJ, that it was a very mild hamstring soreness, pull something or other, but that it's a very mild one and that he's going to probably be day-to-day going forward for a little while. But that's a relief. That's going to be okay. But just before the bell started, just before the tip-off began, we got word that Deandre Ayton has got a sore right knee. Oh, okay. Thanks for letting us know so quick. Right before the game, he's out. So with that said, it looked like kind of a really fair matchup as far as the Lakers and Warriors are concerned. And in the first half, it certainly played out that way because the Lakers and Warriors were going back and forth. Wasn't the prettiest basketball in the world. I'd love to tell you it was lockdown defenses on both sides of the ball, Legend, as far as it's concerned in that first half. I think both Legend and I could probably say it was probably just bad shooting. A little bit of each. How about that? A little bit of D, a little bit of bad shooting. It just was not pretty in that first half as the Warriors took a 42-41 lead in halftime. But the Lakers, they did come out in the third quarter, set the tone early and often as they finally broke out of the defensive or scoring slump. A 38-point third quarter, and then kept it even, pretty much even with the Golden State Warriors, keeping it right around 9, 10, 11 points pretty much most of the way there on out. And they got the victory 105-99. The team is now 32-19. Still waiting for my update standings to update here. And yeah, still not there yet. They're going to be at a tie with the Houston Rockets still in fourth place because Houston won on the road at OKC today with a big win there, also on national TV. And here today to go ahead and discuss today's game and the performances therein. Good friend of the show, indeed. It is my good friend, Mr. Legend himself from I Got Next Sports Media. Legend, again, not close, but really not pretty between both teams in that first half. It was that third quarter, a third quarter that has, how should I say, as of late, not done the Lakers any favors. Well, today they did some favors for the Lakers in that third quarter. Whatever JJ said in that third quarter, coming out of halftime, really they could partake, and they really went out of their way to go ahead and make an imprint, a dominant imprint in that third quarter, indeed.
I would definitely say, yeah, but it definitely wasn't the world grade basketball that first half. I didn't get to see the first half due to I was with my girlfriend and her family, but I was keeping up what's going on, and I saw a lot of my Warriors mates say, "Yeah, man, you don't want to watch this. It's pretty bad." But I could definitely say I give the Warriors a lot of credit though, for being depleted, that you hung in there better than what I really honestly expected. So I give them boy that credit. And then straight to the Lakers. What I tell y'all, Luke Kennard, he can shoot. I can definitely say that my boy can shoot. You got a really good shooter. That's a big replacement from what you had with Cardio Gabe. Already a big difference.
Actually got a did I want to go and elaborate why I know what I know here, but DBSH says Jeremy loves them Clippers. LOL, go Lakers, ugly win. I know he's kidding. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Again, I know a little bit more inside baseball now, and I'll just leave it at that. Also want to go ahead and give a shout out to my friend Intel. Wow, that was a terrible showing tonight. Warriors were missing their entire team. I'll take it. A win is a win is a win. It's an ugly win, Legend. The Lakers were also missing their top scorer and their top big man, per se, even though Deandre Ayton has been much, criticized by us here on the show. He is still the top center that we have. So again, I think for what we saw, I think it's about what we got from both these teams. I will say though that the Lakers bench, which has been a major problem for this team, Legend, all year long, all season long, they're actually coming in as one of the worst or least productive benches in the entire league. Well, they have Reeves there on the minutes restriction, still coming off the bench. That has been a big boost. But today they also got Luke Kennard, the guy they traded for, like you talked about, came in, provides that shooting, got 10 points to start off with. But it was also the great hustle from a guy named Jared Vanderbilt. Jared Vanderbilt and Maxi Kleber, two guys that have been not exactly in great favor with us at times over the course of the past season or so. In case of Vanderbilt, a little bit more than that. Today they came to play 13-8 and 2 steals for Jared Vanderbilt. Really set the tone with his hustle defensively. And for Maxi Kleber, he's playing like a guy that's trying to survive in this league. The 5 and the 7 won't, the 5.7 rebounds won't actually show up very well in the scoreboard. But the eye test tells you after Thursday's performance and this performance, he's acting like a guy that doesn't want to have to go back to Europe soon. He wants to go back to Europe later. But I don't know if that will actually end up being the case or not. But I will tell you again, Maxi Kleber is giving you the kind of effort. He's giving the new lease on life after this trade deadline, and he's taking it to full advantage.
Yeah, you're right. He is taking the full advantage, and right now Luke like a really good pickup for them. Which I kind of said that would help out a lot for the Lakers on getting him. There's a good boost coming off your bench now, and should help out a lot more going forward the rest of the season. It should help at least make things at least a lot better and more energized. Come off the bench. I'm assuming at some point, 9 out of 10, I'm gonna assume AR can probably go back to the starting lineup at some point. But you're gonna still have Luke come off the bench. So that's a good little boost and all that. But other than that, hey, he helped me all out pretty good. Pretty good. So y'all gonna have to see him battle it out for that 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot.
We'll see. And right now, again, as I mentioned, they're tied right now with Houston for 4th place in the Western Conference. Intel Wild says again on the super chat, Kennard looked very solid tonight. We will need him off the bench, obviously, to produce. Absolutely correct. To have that kind of stretch capability on one of the worst shooting teams in the league, and the Lakers, is obviously a big benefit. Roger, I have quite a few hoodies and jackets, Lakers hoodies and jackets. I just don't wear them because it's just so hot here in the office, and I just came in the last quarter, and so I didn't have time to go ahead and change. But I got it rocking right now with me. I will say this, Legend, when it comes to Kennard coming in, it is a big boost for the Lakers as far as for the fact that yes, we all know what he does defensively or doesn't do defensively, but it's what he can do to stretch the floor when he's out there. You have to have a man that always has to respect him out on the floor. And even if it's just one guy that goes out and has to stay right on Kennard because of what he can do to stretch that floor, it allows and gives him so much more. Even if it's just a few feet, it gives space to guys like LeBron, Luka, and AR to do their thing and drive in the lane where they're much more efficient as players, Legend.
You're right about that. They're definitely right about that, and that's one thing I will give them credit for making that move to get Luke. Because I think in the long run they're going to help out. Because even though he doesn't play defense that well, the shooting and release make up for a lot of the defense liabilities to come. But he's gonna get plenty of open looks. You with Luka, you with AR, you're gonna get lots of open looks. Even when LeBron, when he play like LeBron, not sure what's going on with him. Unless old age is starting to knock now, even harder.
I mean, 2010, yes, but I think because also as well, Legend, he has to play the point more. He has to run the offense more, like the old days when the Lakers won their championship. He was the point guard. With Luka out of the game, Luka out of the lineup, period. He has to play more. He has to run the offense more. And you saw the 7 turnovers again coming up. And this is after an 8 turnover game. He had 7 tonight. So that's not great at all. And plus the 6 to 17 shooting is certainly not anything to write home about. But when those other guys are hitting, when the Luke Kennards are going 2 of 4, when Jared Vanderbilt is going 2 of 3, and when Rui Hachimura is going 4 of 5 from 3 with 18 points, it really helps LeBron so that he doesn't feel like he has to do it all himself.
Yeah, it takes a load off of LeBron James, a lot of load. And that's one thing I will give LeBron James a lot of credit on. When he was a little bit younger, yeah, he can step up and he can handle it. Don't matter none of these other guys and show up. He can handle it. But at his age, he needs other guys to step up, and I give him credit. They stepped up big, and that's what LeBron needs. LeBron 41. He should not have to do that. Like, no disrespect to anybody else on that Lakers team, but LeBron 41, 4-time champion. He shouldn't have to do that no more. He's probably the only person on that whole team that can tell that whole team how to win. Gotta take his advice, but also do your part. He like say, you're making a lot of money, and you should, because you ask for that type of money, you deserve that pressure. But he's 41. He shouldn't have to do all that no more. The younger boys got to step up.
That they do. That they do indeed. Once again, it is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. The Lakers do win 105-99. They are still tied for 4th place in the Western Conference. 105-99. They are 32-19 on the season, but with the loss by Oklahoma City, right now they are creeping in ever so closely to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Do you realize, Legend, that the San Antonio Spurs are now 3.5 games out of the first place in the Western Conference? When the Oklahoma City Thunder went 26-1? Was it 26?
It was like 26-1 early in the season.
Yeah. That has entirely changed as far as the landscape on that. This time, that's right now for OKC, where they're struggling, have some injuries. 2 of their top 2 players are currently out of the lineup. Does it give a new lease on life to the teams like the Spurs, the Nuggets, the Rockets, the Lakers, and the Wolves about, hey, maybe we could go ahead and put some wins together and get things going?
It does. It make the West look a lot more wide open right now. With the injuries starting to affect the Thunder some, it beginning to look like it's anybody game at this point. And the funny part, though, Gerald, about that, though, I just said today, I got a new team I think will come out this West. Just from how things been playing out so far. I got a team I did not think I would say this about. I think I got San Antonio come out the West right now. Because out of everybody right now, they the only ones that have been looking absolute best out of everybody right now. In the West right now.
I don't want to revise. I'm not going to revise anything yet until March. I really think that we need. I want to wait and see as it gets closer to the end of the season if how it looks as far as going into the playoffs. But yeah, if you're on San Antonio right now, you're just hoping that everyone stays healthy because
That's the only thing.
that they look really good right now. They're starting to really gel as a team. And again, OKC right now looks a little bit of disarray with some injuries and also the fact that they just sometimes just can't find the scoring like they did today against Houston in those last 2 minutes, legend. You saw when they don't have SGA or Jay Will out there, it was not good. The way they could not execute down the stretch and how Houston did, it was interesting to see how one team could really put it all together late, and the other team was finding and searching and couldn't find enough to get the job done.
Yeah, they've been having some offensive struggles, and I think that comes from I'm not sure them lately. Their defenses haven't made a force as many turnovers as you've seen that led to so many fast break layups, open jumpers, and they just ain't forcing a lot of that right now. And now they're forcing to play. The one thing I thought that was their weakness last year was that half court offense. It still isn't that great. And now they're being forced to play a little bit more on the side of offense they're just not that great at. And their half court offenses haven't been that great. But they're missing so many dudes. You're missing your two main players. I'm a little concerned about the second best player. I'm a little concerned about him because it's been about most of the season.
Yes, I agree with you, my friend. And once again, it is Legend. It's along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for joining us. I wanted to ask you this in regards to your Warriors right now. This is a very pivotal time. You do have Steph Curry that's out with the knee injury. Obviously, Butler is out. What do you do? Do you just shut down? Do you just consider shutting down Steph for the rest of the season? I mean, you guys are between that rock and a hard place right now because you're in eighth place. You're the Clippers are now in trying to tank themselves after
Yeah.
getting rid of two of their top players. The Portland Trailblazers, they didn't get rid of anyone, yet they still can't find ways to win consistently on that team because maybe it's because of youth or talent, or a little mixture of both. So what do you do in Golden State? Because it's clear that right now you guys aren't able to move up the ladder, but it doesn't look like you're going to be able to slide down it either.
Yeah, it gets to the point you might want to just tell stuff, look, it ain't gonna go nowhere this year. So what's the point of me going to ask you to go out here? You risk getting hurt for nothing, I would probably consider just telling them, look, this season over. It's a wash. Just go and take a break, enjoy yourself. Let's see what we can get in the draft and just build from there. Because there's not much to play for at this point. At
You
this
have
point,
your
where
own
you at
pick,
is where you
right?
can be at.
You have this year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have your own pick this year with the Warriors? Warriors have their own pick this year. Is that correct?
I think they do. I got to check, but I think they do.
You think they do? Okay. Well, they should because the fact that they were able to offer 4 picks to Milwaukee, and if that's the case, then obviously there's something that they had there. But yeah, if I could, I'll look it up for you here in a second. But I'm
Okay.
imagining that they do have as far as the first round draft picks as far as it's concerned. So again, it is of course the Warriors struggling right now. So again, it's a rock and a hard place because you can see this is the last bit of Curry that what he has left. How much more do you think Steph Curry has? Because again, he's 37. This is probably one of his best statistical years ever, but it's going to go to waste on a team that seems to be going nowhere in the Western Conference.
Yeah, it's not enough. Losing Jimmy really hurt. That hurt you badly. You already was kind of milling it out, kind of fighting for your life still, and then you lost Jimmy. Stuff is hurt. It gets to the point you just like, what's the point? Just go on and just shut it down at this point. You pretty much know how things are gonna roll out. Like I said plenty of times. I said to a couple people today, a couple of Hawk fans, I told them straight up, look, the Western to me is already kind of decided. It's gonna be between those four, and then you probably got 2 people that might can just can pull through if things fall their way too. But at this point, it kind of look like it's already decided how this Western Conference is gonna play out. It might be best to just shut stuff down, just rest. Don't risk you getting hurt. We don't need no more, season-ending injuries that could affect the next season. Just take your losses.
By the way, JJ mentioned after the game that Ayton will be day-to-day going forward. He does not sound too concerned about his knee pain and how it's being managed, but yeah, it was got that late scratch, and it was just like, okay, all right, what's going on with that? But we'll find out. And I will just say this right now: it is, according to the news story on ESPN, Legend, the 17-time NBA champion Los Angeles Lakers are working with the back-to-back LA Dodgers on their basketball affairs going forward. And I know that excites Joe and everybody out there as far as what they want, as far as their future is concerned. And this is not too surprising because this is what obviously that a lot of people have asked for. And it just means that some changes are probably going to be made sooner rather than later. As far as an organizational standpoint, Legend, what does it mean when a team that has achieved so much success in the Dodgers lends their hand to someone, a team like the Lakers?
It didn't mean they're gonna kind of help teach you their method, what they've been doing in baseball, just help you learn how to transform a regular front office into a championship front office, and they're showing you how to turn what you've been struggling with into some winning ways, and bringing in more people who might be better suited for positions, strengthening some spots, and maybe a little weak in the Lakers front office at the moment. And I think that's gonna be a good move for the Lakers front office. It's gonna be good for this entire franchise. I mean, I think this would be good, something that will help take this team to greater heights, and maybe hopefully never have to repeat what they went through from 2013 to 18 before LeBron got to that entire period, which I know that's probably a period nobody in Lakeland probably ever want to talk about. But hopefully they won't never have to repeat that, and it'll do them good. I think Mark Walter gonna bring in some good minds. They're gonna be able to maybe replace Rob Pelinka, which I'm gonna assume that's gonna happen. Probably get a stronger GM to come in and help make better decisions that I think that you guys will be a lot more happier with, and change this franchise around, get them back into championship mode. It's been a minute. It's been about 6 years now. That's a long time.
Well, I think it should start, Alan, with the firing of Rob Pelinka. I know that Joe has asked for it sooner rather than later, and I'm hoping that that's going to be the case. We have long talked about our differences with Rob Pelinka. This is not something that's a new thing with us. It's something that's gone on for several seasons. As far as our distaste for Rob Pelinka as the general manager for the Lakers. But if Joe comes on the show, there's some really pointed comments from that Rob made earlier today that I'd love for him to go ahead and answer, but I've got that on ice until next time I get to talk to him.
I know what you're talking about too.
Yeah, so because he said some very eye-opening things, and I'll just say that. Nick T, truly appreciate the super chat. He said I can't post it, so I'm wondering why he didn't. It won't post, but he says LBJ had a hard time playing with Genie in front of him at courtside. I don't know if that's the case, Legend, or why he struggled today shooting wise, but how much do you think that Genie would have actually really had effect being so close after their reported supposed issues, according to that ESPN story?
I don't think LeBron's a 4-time champion. I don't think he worried about Genie. LeBron gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4. I got something that you ain't got right now. I'm not worried about that. No, LeBron above her. I respect her, but LeBron's above her. Nah, he ain't worried about her. I think they're more so old age.
So before I get into the comments that Rob Pelinka said earlier today, I'll get his thoughts on the game. It is, of course, the guy behind the Joe Soro experiment himself. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here and away from the chat. It is, of course, your insight on the game. The most, actually, not the prettiest of games. That first half led to a very good third quarter, and that was just enough to get the victory over the Golden State Warriors today.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad product in the first half, and then it got back to normal in the third. You guys are talking about Rob Pelinka. I'm not aware of what Rob Pelinka said.
Don't worry, I've got that on ice for you.
Okay. Again, it's hilarious how for 4 months almost now we've been discussing what's going on behind the scenes, and there isn't an insider thing going on here. I don't have a single insider. So how I was able to determine this is very easy, and I'm gonna coach you all through this, and then I'll answer more questions about tonight's game. When someone spends $10 billion, okay, are you guys listening? Not Legend and Gerald. I'm talking to the audience, so you can tell your friends too. When you spend $10 billion, you're gonna need to convince me that person who spends $10 billion is going to go vacation and let someone like Rob Pelinka run their business.
Or be a hands-off individual.
Whatever, right? Perfect. That's even probably a quicker way of saying it. So if you're going to say that, which is what 80% of what I've been hearing since, oh, I can't believe Rob needs to do this. Is Jeannie gonna do anything? Is Rob gonna do anything? I go, Rob ain't fucking in charge anymore, and neither is Jeannie. But Joe, they said she's gonna be there for 5 years. Okay. Now, what does that even mean? Like, what do you mean she's gonna be there for 5 years? Doing what? Why do you think she sold the majority stake so that she can continue to run everything? Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. And this report comes out yesterday, and everybody's like, oh my God, what did Irwin say? What did Stein say? Like, you guys listen to Nimrods online instead of us. We know. Don't listen to Nimrods on social media, influencer places. These guys don't know how to take a dump the right way, let alone to run a business or know what the fuck a business is. Okay? We have said this how long? And it's embarrassing to have to talk like this because it should be obvious. No one is going to spend $10 billion. Think about that for a second. Maybe it's because you guys hear billions a lot these days because you have the Elon Musk's and the Bezos and all that, and everything's billion, and you just maybe you think a billion is like $1,000 now. I don't know. But anyone who's spending $10 billion, whether they're borrowing it, whether they're brokering it, doesn't matter. You're never going to convince a smart person or just a normal person that person's going to actually let someone like Rob Pelinka run their business or Jeannie Buss. It's impossible for anyone to believe that. And if you believe that, you need help. As far as tonight's game is concerned, I wish I could do it. I still wish I could get on a 10-year contract so I can level the fucking shit out of Draymond Green. That motherfucker needs to fucking get elbowed in the fucking base of the nose. Not here, not in the mouth, because I might cut my elbow. I'm talking right here. I'm talking knock the fucker out. I mean, if you can elbow him right in the sweet spot here in the jaw, that'd be even good, even better. That fucker needs to get lit. And I mean knocked out. Knocked out like Rudy Tomjanovich versus Kermit Washington. That kind of shit. I've had it with Draymond Green.
Washington.
I have had it with Draymond
I played
Green.
Basketball against him. He was actually a really nice guy. Actually.
I have had it with Draymond Green. Well, Kermit Washington again. I've seen that video several times. He thought somebody was going to come out. He thought someone was going to fuck him up. It was a reaction because he turned around and all he did was see, God bless Rudy Tomjanovich. He's got a very aggressive face. He's got a big face. So maybe that scared him for a second. I don't know.
No, I thought I played. He was playing at the same pickup place for a little while with us, and yeah, this was after his career was over. But yeah, he was. Yeah, he seemed like a really nice guy, and I'll just leave it at that. Legend, I do want to ask you though. When it comes to a business, because if you have a business that's done really, really well and you buy another business that's doing okay, but you see potential in it, you buy it, you want that business to run as efficiently and as prosperous as the business you're now running. Is that correct, Legend? I mean, that's basically business 101. So I don't, again, it should not come as a surprise, Legend, when anyone out there just reports what Dave McMenamin did in regards to that the Lakers are going to be utilizing a lot of Dodgerisms and Dodger influence going forward. This should come as a surprise to no one, Legend. No one at all.
This should not be a surprise. You don't go spend $10 or $20 million and just waste money and end up losing money. If I'm going to invest in you, if I got one product already doing well, I'm going to invest in you. I'm planning on having the same level of success. What worked over here, I'm going to do the same thing over here. So if that means I got to replace some people to upgrade this to my liking, well, hey, that's life on that part. That's business. I'm sorry. I'm going to do what I got to do. So Rob Pelinka probably going to be gone. I expect a lot of the people right along with him to be gone. That's expected. Even though I am surprised I see some Rob Pelinka supporters out there. But
I'm trying to figure out which one I should hit you up with her first. But before the game today, Joe, we always talk and always joke about, putting Rob's face on a milk bottle or a milk carton because, he's gone and, where's he at? But he showed up today. He had the button down. He had got the gold. It looks like he's with zipper. Man, God, the zipper's just like gleaming if you look at it on the on Twitter. But he said, I'll give you this one first. On the trade deadline, Joe, he said, I would say we were aggressive. And one form of being aggressive is saying no to moves that come your way that might not be the best for the short and long-term future. Your thoughts on Rob Pelinka's first statement on the trade deadline?
I really don't care what he says.
Okay.
He's not in charge. He's just a mouthpiece now.
Okay.
I will say this. Let's just fantasize that he's in charge. Let's play along with it. Ready?
Okay.
Y'all with me? He got Kennard for that gas bag of a guard in Gabe Vincent. And Kennard did more in 3.5 quarters tonight than that asshole did in 2.5 years. So props to Rob for that. Because Kennard hit a shot when Golden State was making a run, and it stifled the run, and that was it. After that, Golden State couldn't get back, and they lost all momentum. And those are the things that I talk about. This is forget about me talking about it. Phil Jackson. Okay, I learned this from the greats. This isn't me. I'm just the messenger when I talk like this, and just experienced fan watching these things. Those shots, although minimal in your mind, you're thinking, okay, you went from a 2-point lead to a 5-point lead. Big deal. No, it's not a big deal. When you go from 2 to 5 in a moment like that, you win so many games, so many close games when you do things like that, because the opposition gets this like feeling of, we had a little bit of momentum. If we had just made one stop, but we let Luke Kennard get us. And that's even worse. If it was LeBron who made it, Luka who made it, you'd be like, they're the greats. But when Luke Kennard does it to you, it's even worse. That's why role players play such a huge factor in these games. And for that, I want to thank Rob. Okay, Rob, thank you for bringing Kennard in for nothing. It basically was for nothing, because I don't give a shit about the second round pick and the next decade. Who gives a shit about that? You got somebody that actually played with confidence, considering it was his first game, made some nice passes, and hit a very important shot in a game. Good. Thank you for doing in one game where the other chump that we had didn't do for fucking 2.5, almost 3 years. As far as anything else he says, yeah, it's just, it doesn't concern anything logical anymore. It doesn't matter. I heard a couple reports where they were trying to get Wiggins out of Miami. Miami didn't like what they were throwing over there. And we know what they were throwing out there. They were throwing expiring contracts because they're not going to take on anything beyond this year. This summer, Mark Walter and his people, whoever they are, we'll find out soon, are going very, very aggressively in building this thing now. How? I don't know. We're going to find out. I have a couple ideas, but we're gonna kind of play it for the time being until the season's over, and then see what really happens after the season's over. Because all this thing goes to a little bit of a standstill if for some reason in that 1% chance that the Lakers go away, then things would change. That's what's going to change this, is if the Lakers somehow win a championship in that 1%, then Mark Walter may have to go, oh, shit, okay, we may need to run this back again. Or maybe not. Maybe they convince LeBron, hey, listen, man, you just won a championship with the last year of your contract. You should go out a winner. Now, I don't think I would do that. I'd be like, hey, man, go get your 6th. But you got to take like $10 million. Could you do that, LeBron? Come on. Take $10 million instead of 50. If you guys know who LeBron is, he ain't taking 10. Willingly. This guy still pays for Spotify. I'm sorry, he still doesn't pay for Spotify. He's worth a bill. So, yeah. Rob, no concern. Jeannie, I think in the end, I commend her for putting the team in front of her wants and needs personally. Think about that for a second, Gerald. Think about that for a second. She could have been a Mark Davis. She could have been, well, Mark Davis has got a lot of money now because he moved to Vegas. But point is, she could have been a Mike Brown. She could have been a stubborn owner and said, fuck you all. I'm going to run this thing until I die.
Mark shot.
Mark's shot didn't last long, Gerald, because her mouth couldn't shut up.
Well, that's for sure.
If her mouth shut up, it could have. I mean, she was still an older lady. She probably would have croaked that at some point.
Rob. She was cheap.
Dude, she got pissed. She got pissed that the Reds swept. She got pissed off and didn't give guys bonuses because they swept the A's in the World Series because she lost out on home concessions for the game. Can you imagine that? Imagine coming to work. You just won a World Series. And not only you won a World Series, you swept one of the best teams of that era, too. And your boss says, you know what? You guys suck. I wanted another home game, to get more money out of the hot dogs and fucking beer. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We just won a championship. You're gonna. What about the merchandise that came from it? So yeah. It's again, Gerald. You got to give credit to where in life you're going to dislike things and like things from people. You like them or not, you got to tell the truth, right? Jeannie Buss in the end, and I'm putting this 100% down on this. In the end, Jeannie Buss in a lot of ways made up for her inadequacies and really, really, really made probably the best call she's ever made in her career in this by selling her majority stake to Mark Walter. No joke. All respect to Jeannie for doing that.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro, legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Hopefully he'll be back because I got some interesting questions something that Alan put out here in a minute as far as the overall NBA. I wanted him to go ahead and address. Hopefully when we can get him back on here in a second because he's still out right now. So Joe, I'm going to hit you up with the second of the Rob Pelinka comments per se. He made others, mainly about Luke Kennard. And those were pretty obvious and right there. So again, it is what it is on those. But Rob Pelinka on how the Lakers can capitalize on teams affected by the CBA. Okay, here we go. Quote, knowing that there's an unintended consequence when a new system comes into place, teams kind of learn their way through it. We felt like creating optionality, which is a really positive thing for us.
I don't even know what the fuck that means. That is such bullshit lawyer lingo, garbage, manipulated BS, snake oil salesman shit. This is why we don't like Rob Pelinka. He pulled every thesaurus word. I call them thesaurus words because it's like, dude, can you just shut the fuck up for a minute and just speak English in this case? I mean, I like using big words, but I don't use big words to try to hinders some kind of discussion because you don't want to tell something. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
And what the heck is he wearing? It looks like a jacket and a shirt had a baby.
What the hell was JJ Redick wearing today? Gerald, they got to get the suits back, dude.
No.
He was wearing skinny jeans. It looked horrible.
Well, the skinny jeans, okay.
He looked like that pug. You ever seen that meme with the pug where he's sitting up?
I do not want to see pit stains again. I do not want to.
Oh my God! There's one fat coach on the planet that had pit stains, and now we got to judge that guy.
One coach, Joe. It's more than one coach.
It's you, Tom Thibodeau. I get it, but no, they got to get back to the suits. I can't stand
Van Gundy.
These pajamas are horrible,
and it'll look bad again.
It looks horrible.
No, it does. Well, the skinny jeans, I'll give you on that. I really wish Legend would come back, but because I want to address something that Alan said in about Utah, because we are going to see for the next couple months quite a few of these teams tanking in a draft that is considered to be a good quality draft, not only on the high end but throughout, Joe. So it'll be interesting to see. And Alan in particular pointed out something. I haven't seen the specifics on that game because I've been doing the show here, but he says he's salty about Utah because they wrecked it was I think he had some money on it, but that's 2 games on the road that they did that. You're good, Alan. You vent your frustrations here, but he said that the Utah Jazz were up by 3 with 3 minutes to go against Orlando. Then they sat out their starting 5 and let the bench close the game. If that's the case, if I was the league, I would really seriously look into that, Joe, because if that stuff is going around, if that stuff starts, if that becomes obvious and blatant like that, if Will Hardy is given the directive to do that, then yeah, that's really bad. I understand Utah has a pick that has protections on it, and if they don't fall in a certain place, they lose it. But we're going to be seeing 2.5 months of this, Joe, and unless they're playing the Lakers, which I don't mind if they do tank while they're playing the Lakers, unless they're playing the Lakers, I'm going to have a real issue with that going forward.
Adam Silver has lost all the mojo he started his career with. It's completely gone. He's done things like an in-season tournament that's absolutely useless. He's done play-ins, which is an absolute waste of time. He's done the 65 minimum to participate so that you can get the off-season awards, which I actually wasn't against. I thought that was a good idea, but it's not doing anything. He destroyed the All-Star game. Absolutely destroyed the All-Star game. And all the first 3 were to get people interested in playing because they're thinking, oh, the tournament's going to make you $500,000, whatever, blah, blah, blah. These guys don't give a shit. They care. Most of them care about the money, and that's it. They don't care about playoffs. They don't care about any of this stuff because you created that atmosphere. And it doesn't help that LeBron James goes on his horn saying it's harder to play now than it was before, which is just comedy at its peak. It's harder to play now. You can't even sniff snot up your nose without getting a foul called on you. How is it harder? You have the advancements in technology, the advancements in medicine since the 90s might as well have been the stuff that they did in the 90s might as well have been in the 1800s compared to what they are now. So what is it? You're getting paid more than quadruple what you were getting paid in max money since the 90s. So how does that happen? How does that not catch up if it is indeed harder to play these days? Let's just say you're running an extra mile a game. Where's the benefit of having all these advancements around you not using it?
Let me get you over here, Legend, on this. The reason why I'm saying this is because you were off camera, so I'm not sure you heard. Alan, who has a real keen eye on this, that's some financial betting wise, I'll just say that. He was watching the Utah game, and the Utah Jazz were up by 8 with 3 minutes left when, purportedly the Will Hardy, coach of the Utah Jazz, took out all the guys that were doing well to get that 8-point lead and brought in the bench players. And of course, the answer to what's coming up next is that they lost the game from that. If that's the case, and you take out your starters to bring in bench players with 3 minutes left when you're up by 8, that's very shady. If that's the case, we're going to see 2.5 months of this. That's the problem. We're going to see 2.5 months of teams tanking and trying to out-tank each other. This could get really ugly. This could get really bad for the league. And again, if it's not against your Warriors, it's not against your Hawks, or not against our Lakers, it's really not going to be good at watching, some of these games. A lot of these games on TV, it's not going to be a good product. And in the end, that's really going to hurt the league.
Yeah, that definitely won't be a good product, but it definitely gonna look ugly for the NBA. It's gonna look ugly if you see a bunch of teams all tanking at the exact same time, especially if they doing it on purpose. And I don't know, they might get fined for that one. Utah might get fined for it. You was up and you took your guys out. That is very shady. Pretty obvious what you was up to at that point. You trying to tank on purpose. But I'm assuming the NBA gonna eventually have to step in when you see teams are doing that, and I'm assuming they're gonna change the process for the lottery at that point, so where they're going to penalize you when you probably try to tank on purpose for the number 1, number 2, number 3 draft picks. The change is going to have to happen to keep people from trying to tank on purpose like that. But, I mean, I can't blame them. Try to stack up for next season, but that ain't good for your ratings and all that. But Utah ain't on TV like that anyway, though. So,
okay. Again, perception and how it looks. I know that some are saying in the comments that maybe it wasn't as bad as a tanking job, but these teams are going to try and find creative ways to lose a lot of these games.
All this was all the play-in, all the play-in, the minimum games, the in season tournament. All of this was rigged by the competition committee to keep them from the lottery from years ago. Was to stop these guys from tanking. Now, if you really, really want to put all he had to do, but of course, Orlando screwed this up in 1994. And it's like, why is it when one thing happens? It's just like this Hall of Fame with Belichick. Now they got to change the whole coaching voting process of one thing that happens. Now they got to coach everything because they're cowards. They get criticism and they got to change it off of one thing. If it's something that's happening over and over again, okay, I get it. But now everything has to change. If they had just left the lottery to be random, anyone who didn't make the playoffs, it's random. Well, Orlando got the pick and they had one ball in there. Okay, well, that's the point of the lottery, right? They got lucky. That's the point. But now you think that they're not going to tank. You know what's going to happen? It doesn't. They're going to still try to get the worst record if they're tanking because they're guaranteed a top 4 pick. Why did you do that? Oh, we felt bad for the team that sucked ass and gets 8th. Well, that's how. Why'd you put a lottery in there then? These guys don't have any fucking sack, any balls to just stick with something. One little criticism and it's, okay, let's change everything. Let's make everybody happy. You cannot make everyone happy. You cannot. It is impossible. Stick with what works. Stick with what's common sense. And try to solve the problem. Don't try to wiggle your ass around it, putting in a play-in. We need 18 teams to be in the playoffs so that everybody plays hard. It's a diluted shithole when you do that. Because they're complaining it's not fair. Just like these dick faces that are complaining about the Dodgers winning all the time. They weren't complaining 2 years ago. Call them the Dodgers chokers. They had 2 fucking titles stolen from them. No one said shit then. They didn't give a fuck then. So fuck you, okay? I want you to eat all these championships, and they're going to keep coming too. And you want to put a salary cap in? Go ahead. They'll still win. And then what's going to happen? Oh, well, Patrick Mahomes sucks. That's what's going to happen. Patrick Mahomes sucks. Patrick Mahomes wins 3 Super Bowls because of cheating. It's not the salary cap now, right? They got a strong salary cap in the NFL, but Patrick Mahomes got help from the refs. You know who else got that too before Patrick Mahomes, Gerald? Tom Brady. Tom Brady got helped by the NFL, by the refs. And then I'm sitting there going, okay, if he got helped by the NFL, why did he get suspended for 4 games for deflating a football like 1 PSI? Like, is that really going to matter? That really mattered that much? You have a little bit of an argument. You have a little bit of an argument on the Spygate thing because that dick-face commissioner in the NFL burned the fucking tapes. So we don't know what the fuck they did. We don't know if they stole a Super Bowl from the Rams. We don't know if they stole an AFC title game from the Steelers in 2004. We don't know shit because they burned it. It's one big jerk-off. Everything in the fucking world is a big jerk-off. That's why aggressiveness and making sure you got your head on a swivel, if you have the energy. A lot of people don't have the energy. I feel sorry for you. You guys have to go take Xanax. You have to go jerk off somewhere with somebody else. I don't know what the fuck people do. I don't know why they can't take care of their own shit, but it is what it is. But here we are on a podcast talking about why and what and who. Well, here it is, guys. Everybody has an excuse, and it doesn't matter. One day it's cheating. One day it's a salary cap. One day this guy looks like he's driving somewhere. Like it's like it never ends. Like every fucking excuse on the planet never fixes anything. Stop listening to stupid morons. You know why Belichick didn't go into the Hall of Fame? Because he was an asshole who cheated. And it was a lesson. The same people who bitch and whine about people cheating them with taxes, with whatever, they're the same asshole saying Belichick belongs in the Hall of Fame. Okay, well, which one is it? Which one the fuck do you want? You don't want him to get punished for doing that or not? Why is it okay if this guy gets punished for cheating and this guy doesn't? Like, make up your fucking mind. So that's what this thing is. All this shit in the NBA, all this fake shit, the Rob Pelinkas, the play-ins, the Adam Silvers, the All-Star games, all this shit, all this stuff is there because they listen to morons complain. And a bunch of entitled idiots that are making 30, 40, 50 million a year that aren't comfortable. Motherfucker, get to the fucking All-Star game and play. And show our game. Show the game. Show why you're here. Have some pride. Does it always have to be about money? Especially after you're making $50 million. You're a fucking dick face. If you're making $50 million a year and you're still bitching about money, have some pride. If Jordan and Magic and Bird and Barkley and Ewing and all those guys went to Barcelona to promote the game, you know what that those sons of all those guys, what it did to the NBA by them going over there? You think they needed to go over there? You think they wanted to after 82-game season, dealing with all that shit? They gave a shit. They're the best players that have ever lived. That is the greatest team ever assembled in any sport. They gave a shit. Who the fuck are you not to give a shit? But you keep enabling these idiots. I keep having to explain this. You enable morons, folks. This is what happens. But the problem is people don't like confrontation. They don't want to put out the fire because it's too aggressive. It's whatever. Learn to kill the fire before it gets bad. Otherwise, this is what happens. You allow, it doesn't matter who they are. Commissioners of leagues, GMs of teams, it doesn't matter. This isn't me talking like some idiot fan that's complaining about nothing. This is all thoroughly thought. Like, why is this happening? I give a shit about this. So why? Is there a legitimate excuse on why this is all going on? It amazes me that yesterday's reports of Mark Walters people are in charge now. And everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Really? You can't believe it? And you need now to ask Rob questions? I don't want to look at Rob, let alone hear him talk. He's done. He's done. They're all done to me. And at least Jeannie had the balls to fucking sell the team to the right guy. Thank God. Thank God. Like, seriously, like props. Props to Jeannie in the end here. Because she didn't have to do this. She did not have to do it. And she did it. Not only did she do it, She did it, in my view, the best owner in all of sports. That motherfucker is awesome. He's not the only guy that's awesome, but man, he's done some amazing things. And this is not a 2 or 3 year thing, man. This guy has made the Dodgers a 13-year juggernaut. I mean, they have never missed the playoffs since he's owned this team. And when they had homegrown players and they got fucked, when they got cheated, everyone stood around and jerked off, right? And then all of a sudden now, okay, motherfuckers, you want to take titles away from us? All right. You don't want us to have homegrown players? We're going to take all your shit then. We're going to take Freddie Freeman because you don't want to pay him. We're going to take Mookie Betts because we don't want to pay him. We're going to get Ohtani too, by the way, because you can't get him into the playoffs. Wasted 6 years of his career. 6. He's been in LA as a Dodger 2 years. He's won 2 titles. How about that? And you're going to keep seeing it, by the way. I want it to hurt. I want it to burn. You know what I hope too, Gerald? I hope they three-peat. And I hope, and I'm praying to God, that they go into that lockout into fucking August, and there's only a 41-game season, and they win that series again and four-peat with a 41-game series, so I can hear, oh my God, you won 2 titles with 60 games and 40. Good. I hope it burns your ass. I hope it burns every day. How about that? Does that feel good? Yeah, good. Fuck you.
And that's the G-rated version out there for everyone. Let me get it back to you, Legend. It is, of course, the Lakers fast break. The Lakers win 105-99. They are tied for 4th place, 32-19 with the Houston Rockets after their win today in Oklahoma City. Let me ask you this about Draymond Green. When he acknowledges, I guess, did someone off camera say something or heard your rant, Joe? Okay.
I'll tell you guys later.
Okay. Draymond Green, again, we saw him get into another dust up. I don't know if you want to say that foul was, because we see things obviously through a Laker lens. So obviously that he elbowed him, to my view. He elbowed him kind of like the way that Jackson Hayes elbowed G Wiz. And G Wiz went flying when he did. And this is just an everyday occurrence for you, Legend, watching it every day. Yet the leagues, the thing is, what bothers me is the fact that they just let a lot of stuff go. They seem to have a higher tolerance for Draymond Green and his antics. And it's just something, when I watch the Warriors feed and I watch the Warriors games, he has almost one dust up every game somewhere at some time against somebody. And it just seems like all these other players will never get the same kind of treatment that Draymond gets, and that he's always evaluated on a scale. Is that fair? Is that a fair perception from me? I don't know. You've watched him closer than I have in regards to that on an every game basis. Let me know if that's true or not true. But again, on his contract and his value and his declining skills and his advancing age, it doesn't make for a great combination.
Yeah, when we was winning all the championships, when we was dominating the NBA, it was worth it. Like, hey, do your thing, bro. We winning. We don't care. Do your thing. But this time, it's not worth it no more. It definitely can get a little overboard. I always said Draymond's style fits perfectly with the 80s and 90s, but you fit perfectly. Because I always say there's a lot of NBA players and a lot of people probably watching this show now, you couldn't play basketball in the 90s and 80s. You'd have been got your ass over. But he fits perfectly back then. He fits perfectly. But to the way he don't digress now, his game don't went down a good little bit, it ain't worth it now. It can be kind of hard to watch and be like, Dre, hey, man, it was cool about 10 years ago. Now, it ain't worth it, bro. It ain't worth it. Which is why I think they said he may went to the Lakers if we got Giannis. You don't want that. Nah.
Oh, I would have shut this channel down. Honestly, I would not want, I don't want to be part of reporting every day, oh, Draymond Green did this, Draymond Green does that. And then you have to act like you're justifying it because it's not fair. If it wasn't on your team, and that's the part I feel sad for you the most. It's on your team, and you see this. He kicks guys in the nether regions. He elbows people dirty. He's punched out teammates, yet he still gets afforded contract after contract after contract. And as his skills have eroded as far as playmaking, shooting, his defense is still there to an extent. I will give him that. It just makes it harder to justify him going forward that because I don't know, does he deserve the same kind of treatment that you're giving Steph as far as letting him go walk into the sun, have that nice, great ending and walk into the sunset along with Steph Curry? Do you want that for him? Do you think he deserves it the way he's played over the course of the past few years?
I want to say it's like kind of like two on the side of two coins. One side of the coin, I'm like, you earned it. You won this franchise, 4 championships, 2 back-to-back. You done something we may not see for a long time. That much dominance in a long time. We haven't seen anybody else do anything like that. So I feel like maybe he have earned it to an extent. But then there's the other side of the coin. It's like, a lot of your dirty play, man, cause a lot of problems in the NBA and the Jordan Poole situation. I feel bad for Jordan Poole all the time. That's bad when somebody from New Orleans, a kid about 10 years old, asks you, how do you feel to get punched? That's bad. That's pretty bad. It just get old. The act get very old, and it get kind of tiring. So it's kind of half and half. You've earned it on the court, but off the court, you feel like you haven't earned it. A lot of dirty play. I feel like it's gonna probably be Steph call on how that plays out too, since Steph pretty much controls how a lot of stuff is gonna roll.
Tony, I wouldn't want that headache even for the minimum.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
man. No,
Tony, I got much love for you, my friend, but we talk about LeBron and the headache and the noise and how some people don't want him for the minimum, and I would respect their opinion on that because of all the stuff that he does. Because he's LeBron, he is nowhere close to Draymond. I'm sorry, you can't for the minimum. For the less minimum, if he pays me the minimum, it doesn't matter. I don't want him on my team. It's just at this point in his career, legend, it's just too much of a headache.
That's too much. And, another thing too, Gerald, the one thing I will never be able to forgive Draymond about, you cost us that 2016 though. You cost us that one. That series was won until you did what you did. So, but then again, we may not would have got Kevin Durant either though. So I guess it kind of worked itself out in some spots. But at this point in age, it ain't worth it anymore. No.
Yeah. So the Lakers, they go ahead and they're playing a couple more games, Joe, before the All-Star break. So I wanted your thoughts on it, starting with Monday night's game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm seriously hoping that Jay Will and SGA will still be out of the lineup for that game. And we'll see who we have from there when they come in on Monday. And then let me go ahead and finish up here with what the Lakers are going to be playing for the rest of the week. And that will be starting, like I said, Monday. They're going to be playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tuesday, San Antonio. So, Joe, they don't get back-to-back losers at home. No. It's OKC and San Antonio. Then they get the losers after it in Dallas and the Clippers, but that's 8 days apart right there. So Oklahoma City, San Antonio, and Dallas for the rest of the week. What do you think they'll do for the rest of this week?
I just want to split however way they can get that, and then
there's 3 games, so you can't split it.
Well, I meant the 2 main ones because I think they'll beat Dallas because I think Luka will likely play in that game. I just don't know if Luka will not play the Oklahoma City one and then maybe play the San Antonio one. I don't know yet. If they could split Oklahoma or San Antonio, that'd be a win in my book. And then you beat Dallas, and then you basically finish off before the All-Star break with a 3-1 record. And it's just try to get past this little. I mean, you got past that 8. I mean, 8 is, I can't remember 8. I always remembered 7 during the Grammy trip. So 8 going 5-3 is actually not bad. And if they can go 3-1 here, then it's a pretty damn successful ending to this last part of the schedule before the All-Star break. Because usually that's when they would hit the wall back last few years. They would hit the wall right before the All-Star break, and then they try to catch up and have a good run after the All-Star break, which usually zaps them up so much that they can't do anything in the playoffs. So I think you should probably see more Reeves in the next couple of games. LeBron will continue to kind of, and that was probably why that's probably why the first half wasn't as good tonight. I think LeBron was trying to just try to scale back a little bit, hopefully save up his energy a little bit. And it wasn't, again, an accident when they came out in the second half and he blitzed them. He turned it on and it was 9 straight points. So they got to be careful. They got to be careful. They have to be fresh for the playoffs. And if they can get a top 4 or 5, I think if they can get a 4 or 5, I think they'll be in good shape in the end going into the playoffs, because I think whoever they play, either a 4 or 5, will be a matchup that I think they could have a chance to win. If not, I don't know. I don't know how else it could play out. That would be better.
Again, Tony, I'll be exact. I will shut down the Lakers fast break, not for good, but as soon as Draymond leaves, I would actually come back. And we're back. That's what I do. I don't want the stress. I don't want to sit here and go off on it. I don't want to deal with it. Again, I don't care if you put him on the minimum, veterans minimum, any minimum. I don't want Draymond Green on this team. And I don't want the
Tony,
stress.
are you just yapping because you're trying to get a reaction?
No.
I mean, really, Draymond Green come to Lakers? When was that ever an option, really?
He's saying wouldn't you take him for the minimum?
No, I wouldn't take him for free. I wouldn't take him if you paid me.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. No. Get that fucker out of here. I don't want him. I don't want to even see him.
I did want to note something, Legend, that you'll find interesting. Jackson Hayes read a prepared statement tonight. And the fact that he had to read a prepared statement tonight says all. When he says he apologized to his teammates and the Wizards mascot for the incident leading to a 1-game suspension. However, he explained that the shove was prompted by his foot being stepped on by the mascot. And again, he's reading a prepared statement while doing it. I'm watching it on Twitter right now. So, yeah.
Well, that's interesting right there.
Yeah. A prepared statement about, yeah. Just say you apologized and move on. Stop trying to divert the blame. Okay, it's never going to look good.
Why did he have to make a statement?
I don't know why he had to make a statement. I honestly don't know.
I don't even know who the PR guy is now. I forgot that since.
It's not the long time PR.
Not Steve Black, right? Oh, Steve Black?
Gone. He's gone many years.
Yeah, he's been gone, right? I know. Yeah. He was gone when they fired Mitch.
Yeah.
This is. Yeah. What? Why?
He's reading. I could see he's reading a prepared statement on.
Why would he even have to respond?
Why did he do all that?
He could have just said, "I reacted.
I hit him.
I hit him. It's over." And matter of fact, he helped. I think the fact that Kleber played more actually helped the team.
Yeah, and Kleber helped tonight as well, and they got a big boost from that, Joe. But
I don't get the NBA for that. I don't get the NBA
for that one. It's so nice to hear Reggie Miller. It's so nice not to hear Reggie Miller on these calls or any of these horrible NBC people. Jeez. Whoever hired Tim Legler, thank you. Oh, my God.
Well, they've had him all these years. They finally realized, you know what, maybe should.
Like, dude, Tim Legler is like the only guy that knows anything. And they're like, maybe we should put him in as a color guy. Yeah, how about that? Thank you. See, there's a difference. See, it's so different. Notice how Reggie's been doing games for years. But the thing was, he was with Marv at the time. And Marv, much like how Chick used to keep Stu at bay, I literally heard Marv shit on Reggie on a commercial, right a second before a commercial break, when Reggie was going nuts, and this was the last time I heard him go nuts while he was doing a game with Marv Albert. He goes, "That's what happens when you mess with Triple Ocho," because he was so proud of himself. He came up with this Triple Ocho thing because 3 8s are 24. Anyways, so he says it, and right before, I think it's still on YouTube too, by the way. Right before they click to this commercial, you hear Marv go, "Reggie, are you all right?" And then it cut the commercial. Oh man! So yeah, a great play-by-play guy keeps that at bay, like a good coach. Hey man, relax. We're trying to do a show here. We don't need you to be yeah. Since he left Marv, he's been they just let him do whatever he wants, and he's terrible. But props for hiring Tim Legler. His color tonight was amazing. It was great. Thank you.
Let me ask you this before we head on out, my friend. The buyout market is still there as far as people trying to go ahead, teams trying to see if there's someone available that can help their organization. I know the Warriors and Hawks may or may not be interested in exploring that market or just expanding their two ways, giving guys a chance, because if they've hit that 50 game mark, they have to commit, like Pat Spencer was today. Signed to a regular contract. I think, does that make your roster full with that move? So you can't get any buyout players? Is that correct or no? I'm not sure where you guys stand.
I'm not for sure. I got to double check. I don't think they full just yet.
Okay. Well, again, congrats to Mark's doppelganger out there in Australia, because his twin has just gotten a full 1 year contract. He was moved over as we were joking about, and actually serious, because he scored 20 on the Suns the other day, and today not quite as good, but still, when you're starting this late in the season for Steph Curry and you still get 14 out there, that you're doing something good for your team. Joe, while Legend looks that up, and Legend also hopefully will get ready with what he's doing at I Got Next Sports Media. Are you doing a show after the Super Bowl tomorrow night?
Not tomorrow night, probably Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I don't have any skin in the game, otherwise I would, but there's gonna be a few more Lakers shows going on here in the near future. There's obviously gonna be Dodger shows because the spring training is gonna start, but there will be a football show on Monday, likely. It's like 99% at this point, unless something really changes. Just to talk a little bit about kind of the next steps of what's going to come here in 2026 for the NFL and the Steelers.
And I'll just say this about a buyout candidate. I said it on the Lakers' latest. I'll say it and elaborate on it again. Your goal, if you are to get someone off the buyout market, if you're not going to go ahead and move a two-way into that spot, if you're not going to go ahead and, get someone like a Kobe Buffkin or an RJ Davis, who are playing really well at South Bay, and move them up into the slot, then if you're going to go out and search for a buyout player, and if there's buyout players available, then get someone who you think or you believe will be a contributor for the rest of the season, that you think can come off the bench and will still give you minutes, in March or in April going forward. Because what I've seen so many times is you get these buyout guys and they're all great and they're all awesome and all they just had a bad deal turned their way with the last club that they were on, and they start them out, they play them a few minutes, they play them sometimes 20, 25 minutes in the first couple games, and then it just goes downhill from there. And they just, by the time the end of the season ends, they're just doing nothing. See Alex Len for starters. Alex Len was someone that we did not want on this team. Yet Rob did not listen. He put him on the team and tried him out. JJ ran him in the rotation because he was 7-1, and you saw how that worked out. It was terrible. Most of these guys are terrible. The guy that you want is a Markieff Morris 2020 deal where he gets waived, the Lakers pick him up on a buyout, and he ends up contributing to the point where he actually he started several games for the Lakers, Joe, in the playoffs as in that 2020 bubble team, if I'm not mistaken, Joe.
Well, I had an itch that I needed to scratch. Who was the best buyout player ever?
Well, I'm not saying he's the best buyout player ever, but I'm just saying that's what you wanted to work out.
It came into my head, and I wanted to know. Mm-hmm. And I started doing some research. You know who the best buyout player ever was?
Who's that?
Boris Diaw.
Ah, there you go.
2012.
Yes.
He's part of the 2013, 2014 team. And because I was racking my brain like, what did buyout? What do buyout like? There's two memories of the buyout and the deadline player that really made an impact. Boris Diaw in terms of the buyout, and the most impactful player in my view of the last 35 years of watching basketball was Rasheed Wallace being traded from Atlanta to Detroit in 04.
Mm-hmm.
If Rasheed Wallace is not on the Detroit team in 04, I think the Lakers win the championship, even despite all the BS that was going on, because he was just too good at that time. And he was a problem. So yeah, it's Cam Thomas is kind of the leader right now in the out the gate in terms of a buyout player.
Think he's the only. I think it's the only one that can realistically continue to give you minutes going forward. He is nowhere near a perfect player. Can't shoot efficiently, and he doesn't defend well, but he does score. Which, if you move Austin back into the starting lineup, the bench needs scoring, and a lot of it, and that's something he can at least do for you for 15 to 20 minutes a game, and I'll leave it at that. But if you guys decide it's Highsmith or Robert Williams or Matisse Thybulle or someone else in the chat, I won't argue either which way, but they just better be used and used continuously going forward, because if they're not, and they just end up sitting on the bench at the end of March or whatnot, then it really wasn't a good buyout pick, and I'll just leave it at that. But Legend, your thoughts on as far as what type of control the team has going forward, or do they have a spot left, or is that it for now?
They got one, just one spot left.
Okay, and it's not a two-way.
No, I don't think that's a two-way.
Okay, all right. What do you want them to do?
I mean, not much they can really do to change this season around, but if they just want to just keep it interesting and make the playoff and go home in the first round, and not much really out there unless you're going for a Cam Thomas or get a big, something you've been need for a long time. Need some wings. It's up. That gets at this point as much as they can really do, but they ain't really gonna be nothing significant enough to turn the season around.
No. At this point, the Warriors and the Lakers are pretty much who they are. Indeed, I agree with that. Joe, I'm going to hit you up with this last question before we head on out. What do you think? It's from R. Carino 5, by the way, a new face. Truly appreciate you being here. Like and subscribe. What do you think is the biggest misconception of the Lakers?
You mean this team?
He just said the team. I'm assuming he's generalized it.
Misconception of this particular team as a whole, or just the team, like the players?
Again,
what do you think is misconception?
It's a very basic question, so I don't know if it's. I don't know how finite or infinite he is.
Misconception.
Making that. I thought that was good.
I think maybe the misconception might be that they're as bad as sometimes we make them out to be. I think that's probably a misconception. We're talking about a team that's 32-19, and I mean it's not a bad team.
I mean they're on target to do what they did last year.
This team's going to win 50 games. It's pretty clear at this point, because I don't see them losing 13 more games the rest of the way. We're talking about another 30 games, right? Mm-hmm. Essentially,
that's a good question, Arcarino. A subscriber.
Yeah. So let's look at that. They're 32-19. That's 51 games, and there's 31 games left. So do you see this team losing? Or I'm sorry. Let's look at what's left. So you're looking at what, 18 and 13? Yeah. So do you see this team not going 18 and? I think that's the misconception. Is I think that they're bad. They're not bad. They're actually a good team.
When you hear us, we give you the impression that they're bad. No, again, like you said, they're closing in and scheduled right now and targeted to a 50-win team. But it's the expectation that I think us as Lakers fans have when you win 17 championships. And again, Arcarino, that was a great question. The misconception also is, it comes with the success that you have. Like in Boston, if you go to a Boston forum right now, you're probably going to have these similar type of expectations, because when you win 18 titles on their end, you're going to expect to be at or near the top every single year. When you're the Lakers, that is the you're just, as a fan base, you're just so fixated on being at or near the top every year. When anything else is less, it just seems disappointing in a way. And that's, I think, a great misconception, Joe, that you pointed out, is that the Lakers are not having a bad year. They're still winning at a 60% clip, but it's just the way we perceive it, because of the fact we've been so used to winning. I think that's the problem. For me, as far as the biggest misconception of the Lakers and legend, I'm going to ask you that as far as the Warriors or the Hawks. The biggest misconception for the Lakers is, again, to other outside forces, it's the Lakers always seem to get the right break, always seem to get the guy, always seem to get this, always everything seems to go their way. Well, again, it's still a business. And as this business of the NBA has changed and moving forward, you realize the Lakers have only won how many titles, Joe, in the past 10 plus years? Actually, more than 10 years, since 2010. How many titles have they won?
The Lakers have won one.
That's correct. So the misconception is that the Lakers get everything going their way, and that they've won so much and so many times during the course of the past year. They've only been as successful as what it actually plays out to be.
If I had to use a comparison, it's just like real life, in that when anyone sees any mediocre person or less than a mediocre person sees anybody with success, more often than not, that person is going to say that those other people were successful because they screwed people over, they had some kind of trust fund, they didn't work hard, and because that's what you see on TV, that's the perception that's created, and people are so stupid in believing everything that they see. This is what starts all this. And like I even again saw a post the other day that somebody said that the Dodgers cheated the last 2 years, and I literally wrote, "Go, what do you mean they cheated? How?" They didn't answer because it didn't make any sense. Like, cheat what? Like, you ran out of excuses why they won, and you're just going to say, "Oh, they cheated." Cheated how? So losers talk about winners. Bigger losers talk about perennial winners. And we demand, as Laker fans, the highest of the highest. Why? Well, let's talk about that, Gerald. You're paying LeBron James $50 million a year. We're going to have to demand more from him. Now, you notice that whenever Jackson Hayes plays well, I get very happy, right?
Yes, you do.
Right? Why? Why do you think I get happy?
Because he's on a minimum.
He's on a minimum contract, and he's playing like a guy that's making $10 million a year. You know how I know that? Because we were paying that dipshit that the Lakers just traded around that kind of money. There's a difference, right? If LeBron was making $1 million a year, there would be nothing. There would be nothing to say about LeBron James at that point. Whatever he's giving you 21, 6, and 6 for $1 million. Holy shit. But at the same time, we'd have talent on this team that would help more, right? It's about winning. And I watch Winning Time every now and then. It's only 17 episodes. Unfortunately, got cut short than I wish it would have. But there's some of the best stuff was coming from Michael Chiklis playing Red Auerbach. And in a weird way, this is going to sound sacrilege being a Laker fan, I actually identified more with the Celtic way of communication versus the Lakers at the time of that show. Like the way Red was talking to Jerry Buss when Jerry was trying to, throw his little girlies at people to kind of get them all soaked up, and then there's Red Auerbach with a cigar going, Is that what you do? You try to get the guy thinking with his little head instead of his big head? That's something I would do. I'm a family man, right? I don't go and whore around. I never even did it when I wasn't married. So the way that he says something in that show that just resonates. He built it to be bigger than any player, and he built it to be bigger even after he was gone. So the Lakers are the same thing. Dr. Buss built something that was bigger than him. And it's not an accident that in his reign, he not only won 10 championships as the controlling owner, he beat the Celtics 3 times when the Celtics could not be beaten for decades. So now we're here. We're like, here's the offspring, right? The Buss family. And they're all not good. Jeannie was the best out of the bunch. And in the end, she made up for the inadequacy. In the end, she made up for it because she cared about the team so much. And I'm just, it might have been the money 100%, right? Maybe I'm romanticizing this in my own head. But the fact that she sold this team at the majority stake to Mark Walter, to me, I feel that she really, really did everyone a solid by doing that. Beyond. And she should be celebrated for that. She definitely should be celebrated for that.
Then another great question, Carino. So I'll hit that last, and we'll stay on extra time to go ahead and hit it. But Legend, let me bring you this. But before we get to you, as far as the common misconception with the Warriors, the Lakers just announced that they've already taken up their 15th spot with Kobe Buffkin, which is kind of weird because the fact that I guess maybe it's because they couldn't play. Why didn't they sign him before today's game? I'm assuming maybe it's because of cost reasons, because remember they have a $1.6 million barrier right now. So maybe it was if he had signed him up before, maybe would have crossed that threshold. I don't know what their specifics are, but why he signed him after the game instead of before the game. But I'm assuming it has something to do with the 1.6 million for whatever's left for the rest of the season. But if he did sign Kobe Buffkin to a 2-year deal, as being reported, I don't know the particulars. When I get them, I'll let you guys know. But it's strange because Kobe Buffkin was a guy that on that 10-day, he was played pretty regularly for a couple games. Played, got it some minutes in there, got some PTs in the first half and second half. Then all of a sudden, by the end of the 10-day, found himself on the end of the bench. So I would have thought that he didn't give himself the greatest the impression in the world, no matter how many points he's scoring right now in the G League. But Legend, you are familiar with Kobe Buffkin because he is a former draft pick.
Yep.
I believe he's a number in the teens. Was he drafted as far as? Yeah. So he's a former first-round draft pick of the Atlanta Hawks, who didn't fare that well, has bounced around the league with more than one team since, and more than one team this season, as a matter of fact. But he has excelled at the G League level. Your thoughts on signing Kobe Buffkin, the Lakers do, to a 2-year deal to fill up that last spot?
I'm a little surprised that they jumped onto him. I really thought they would have waited and maybe looked at Highsmith or Thomas or a couple others that's available. I thought that's what they were going to do. It wasn't really no rush to quickly sign somebody, but maybe they got a reason why they did that. I'm not for sure.
I mean, you could have still signed him on the 2-way deal.
That's what I thought. The 2-way was still available. So I'm a little surprised that they just quickly went on and did that. So I kind of hope they got a reason why they did that. But he's bounced around a little bit. He's been kind of taking a tour around the league. So we'll see how he do here, but I mean, there is some talent there. He done good in the G League, but G League, NBA, 2 different levels. So we'll see how he can contribute for you guys.
Yeah, and again, it's just weird because the impression that you get of the way JJ utilized him in the rotation, where he started out, 10-day guy, I'm going to burn him. I'm going to use him when I can. He comes fresh off of some great games in the G League. Okay, I'm going to use him for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then it started to trickle away. And by the end, like Drew Timme, guys, remember when Drew Timme 2 weeks ago was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and now he can't even find the court? The same thing happened to Kobe Buffkin by the end of his 10 days. So that, again, the impression I got is that JJ didn't have the greatest impression of the world of Kobe Buffkin, but obviously, Rob says otherwise. So be that as it may. Legend, I will get the question that was sent to us. What is the biggest misconception about the Golden State Warriors?
The biggest thing that they used to say a lot about the Warriors were kind of similar to you guys. They said we sometimes got caught some breaks, and they bring up a lot about Draymond Green get caught a lot of breaks, which I kind of agree he does. But they definitely say Steph and them sometimes get away with a couple of stuff. Draymond get away with a lot of stuff. But I mean, last couple of years we ain't really had no reason to be getting favoritism for stuff. Maybe we got away with a lot of things back in between the 2015 and 19 range a little bit, but and I know somebody said they think we rigged the lead to get Kevin Durant though. So,
well, Joe, let me go ahead and hit you up with another question. I put it in the private just so I could go ahead and copy it for myself. There's another good question from our new viewer here. Mark Walter doesn't have to worry about the salary cap for now in the MLB. By the way, he's a avid MLB watcher, and he's just getting into the NBA now. How is he going to optimize the Lakers given this constraint? I thought that's two really good questions. He comes in here, brand new, two great questions.
Great. Definitely this exactly what we want on this show.
Art Carino, big shout out to him.
Thank you for that.
Because new people usually go, why is that guy screaming? Why is that guy so mad? Those are usually the first questions I get. So
yeah, I used to ask that about Mad Dog Chris Russo all the time, and
now he just watches.
He's got a 40+ year career doing it, so I guess maybe I'm on the right path. But
there you go. But good job, Art Carino.
There is no cap in bringing in the correct leadership. Mark Walter and his crew are being devalued by just parrots online. That's it. You notice the owner of the Giants was on the Rich Eisen show. I think it was a couple days ago. It might have been 3 days ago or something. And they asked Larry Bear, that's his name, are the Dodgers bad for baseball? And Larry Bear, and just to paraphrase, said, no, they're not, and went on a discussion about it and why they're doing well and what's going on there. And he also explained that they also tried to get the players in LA, and they haven't been able to. Yamamoto, as a matter of fact, I heard that they offered, and I'm saying the San Francisco Giants and Larry Bear, they offered Ohtani $800 million, but were turned down because Ohtani's focus was a number that he wanted, a certain amount of money that he wanted deferred, and he wanted to be with a team that had certain leadership that he already admired. So much so that if for some reason Andrew Friedman gets let go, fired, whatever, he has a clause in his contract that says, I get to opt out of my contract. That's how much respect he had for Andrew Friedman. So Ohtani was coming to the Dodgers no matter what, unless, of course, the Angels had matched the contract. But then that could have been just a goodwill thing where he went back knowing that they wouldn't have. But he had that respect. But he was offered more money by the Giants, and it didn't matter. The extra $100 million didn't matter. He was there. He did everything during that process to be with the best people, and that doesn't have anything to do with a salary cap. You can't salary cap the genius of Andrew Friedman. You can't salary cap the general managing of Brandon Gomes. You can't salary cap the Stan Castons. You can't salary cap the Mark Walters and their scouts. Look who they got. And it's hilarious when you see this cast of amazing people and ball players, and to have the nerve to call them the evil empire. This is the furthest from anything evil. This isn't Kobe Bryant wanting to eat your heart in front of you and your family. This is not the team. These are nice people. These are people that shake your hand, win or lose. They're good people. And you marginalize that, and you only show who you are by not observing that. I'm not ever going to fault anybody to hate the Dodgers because it makes your team look bad. That's competitiveness. I get it. But then when you make up bullshit, that's when you become the loser that you are. Oh, they're evil. Oh, they're only winning because they're spending money. When in fact, when they weren't spending this kind of money and still winning, we were getting fucked. Right? So I want you all to pay attention, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Mark Walter is going to bring championships to LA in many, many, many times with a cap. They're still going to come out, and I say they as in the losers, and they're everywhere. Everywhere. They're going to come out with another excuse, so get ready. When he starts winning with a salary cap, by the way, they're not going to have a salary cap in baseball no matter how long they wait, so just know that. Then you're going to see both sides. Then what? He's going to have to buy a football team for you guys to prove that he's good, right? Like, I don't know what else you can do at that point. But you're going to see it. It's going to happen. Get ready.
Arcarino, yes. The Lakers, up until this $10 value, $10 billion valuation earlier this, 2025, it was one of the least I should say cash poor. The owners, the Buss family, is one of the most cash poor teams in the NBA, meaning they just don't have enough cash. Whatever they get from the Lakers is their main business in life, and was their main business in life. And whatever generated from the Lakers is essentially mostly what they got as far as back in return. So they don't have outside sources as far as funds that they were able to put back as much as other teams in the organization. So while other teams might have had larger scouting departments, larger health departments, as far as being able to monitor and take care, long-term care for the players, et cetera, executives, just the whole 9 yards, they were not able to go ahead and have the extensive organization that some other teams actually have. And with Mark Walter coming in there, he understands about having good people in place to build a proper winning organization, i.e. what he's done with the Dodgers. And if they're going to go ahead and put resources into it, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, because again, if you go by and go down to El Segundo and you go by the UCLA Health Center and you're looking for this huge Lakers facility, you're not going to find it. You're just going to find the UCLA Health Center. It's a okay sized building, but you'll be by it and you'll drive by it in a matter of seconds. And then if you go down straight and make a right and you just go down a quarter mile more, you're going to see the entire building street in powder blue for the Los Angeles Chargers. You can see the difference in what is spent on the organization just in that synopsis right there. And what Mark Walter will do as far as the organization is concerned is, if there's any area that needs help, whether it's the film study, whether it's the scouting, whatever department that needs help in, he will apply the resources to find the best people to do just that. It's obviously done in practice with the Dodgers, and I'm expecting the same here with the Lakers. Legend, before we head on out, I want to make sure I got you on the next I Got Next Sports Media. So what are you doing, my friend, for I Got Next Sports Media?
I'm definitely going to continue covering the NBA. I'm finna invite someone that I know who covers a lot of WNBA. Me and her are going to talk a little bit about the upcoming WNBA season, the Atlanta Dream, and we're going to discuss about the WNBA lockout that potentially might be happening. And then we're going to also discuss a little bit of our Super Bowl predictions if me and her can hop on tomorrow to talk.
The one thing I want to leave you with this, Joe, again, one of the reasons why they've won the past couple days is because of the bench output for the Lakers. And with Reeves coming off the bench, something we've asked for and asked continuously on this team for quite some time, it seems to be working quite well. Now, it is because of a minutes restriction, and we all know that he's probably going to be put back into the starting spot sooner rather than later. But tonight you got great efforts from Jared Vanderbilt, and you also got a great effort from Maxi Kleber. Past two games, it doesn't show up in the scoreboard, but we've seen it in the eye test what he did to help give this team a lift. And the plus minus actually, I think, is effective in this case to utilize on Maxi Kleber. The thing when I talk about the bench is, where has this been? Because we've talked about Vando being up and down the entire season, and Kleber, where was this when we got him from Dallas? Where was this guy?
So part of why Tim Legler's game tonight was so good is he made a point that this is the first time Kleber's been healthy since he's been traded to the LA. So it makes sense. If he's healthy now, he's contributing. And Vando is, I don't know if he found the Lester Hayes' stickum or Fred Blitnikoff's stickum. He hasn't been dropping the ball, literally.
Correct.
So, and he's been hitting those layups and those dunks in traffic, and he's been hitting that corner three. So props to Jared Vanderbilt. Maybe he also had a problem like Kleber in terms of maybe he wasn't healthy the last year and a half. So if you're gonna chastise someone and then they get through it and start playing well, you have to also then support them.
Yeah,
so I'm very happy that Vanderbilt and Kleber have been contributing. Thank you for that. That's all we ask, and I hope it continues.
As do I. And again, for a team that all season long has had some of the worst bench production in the league, it is a godsend that we're now getting a team that can score 35, 40 points off their bench. And it makes it a lot easier for the guys and actually allows them, the LeBrons and hopefully the Lukas when he comes back, if you have a bench that productive, you can go ahead and give them more rest as well. And as we saw last season, the more rest you can give our stars coming into playoff time, the better they will do. So we will wait and see. But again, it is Joe Soro. A big shout out to legend from I Got Next Sports Media, Joe Soro with the Joe Soro Experiment. Please like and subscribe to their channels. My other channel that I'm a part of with the Fan Arc Network, Lakers Latest, I will drop a Lakers Latest on Super Bowl Sunday. It'll be there in the morning for you, about 10 to 20 minutes long. So catch that. So hopefully you guys will like and support that there as well. But we'll be back on Monday night. Monday night after the game, it'll be the Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Looking forward to actually getting a chance to watch this game and seeing if the Lakers, with those guys out on OKC's side, will take advantage. We will wait and see. So for Joe Soro, I'm Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this thing. Here's hoping you have a fantastic Lakers weekend. Here's hoping you'll take time to enjoy the Super Bowl. And here's hoping you will have a safe and fun time all weekend long from your friends at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Jeremy Gabe was available to play today, but did not play. He did not play.
Wow, what a surprise.
Yep. Did not
Didn't play when he could have. Wow, I can't believe that happened.
Nope. Never
Thank
happened.
God it's not our problem anymore. Jeez.
Thank God. Cardio.